Teamwork makes the dream work. Or does it? I have no idea. But when it comes to Sarada, Mitsuki, Yodo, and Arya, it just kind of feels like all of them together might be able to win against the Shinju. But at the same time, it's the Shinju. Like, it's one thing to have like Shinki's abilities, but it's another thing when it's like paired with that of the strength of the Ten Tails. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, they're definitely gonna win because it's the four of them together. But there are any number of variables that could go wrong. One is that the sand around them already controls and manipulates them, so I don't know how they're gonna fight that. Well, Arya just like swung his sword and cut through the sand, so they have an advantage there, but it's still a Shinju. Like, who knows what other kind of abilities it might have, you know what I mean? And it's also super strong, so you gotta kind of be like, okay, all he has to do is take care of that guy, Arya, and then boom, he wins the fight. Like, and then even if they beat, like, let's say they beat Ryu, they have to take the thorn, the soul thorn, and then they have to run away with it. But then Konohamaru is fighting Matsuri, and then they have to help him, and it just feels like, you know, a big in between, which is kind of why I was suggesting that Kawaki might jump in, because he could be the one to really fight them and to really take care of them because of his no, what is it, the Sukune Hikuna, because of that, or the, you know what I mean, he'll be able to fight them more on par, you know what I'm saying? But if anything, this could be the moment for Sarada and Mitsuki and all of them to really shine and show what they can do, if, just saying, you know, if they're able to, right? There's no guarantees, but I feel like as a team, as all of them collectively together, they have a chance. It's Konohamaru that, you know what I mean, I'm definitely worried about the most. Let's see, what can they realistically do? I mean, Mitsuki kind of showcased what he is capable of against Boruto, and even that wasn't, you know, that didn't really show the full totality of what he can do, because there was such a gap in their strength. But now, I don't know, it feels like maybe he'll have something like a little bit of an edge over him or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ways that what could their teamwork work best in, you know what I'm saying? We'll probably be able to see what Sarda has been training on, her Sharingan. There's no telling if she's been working on her Mangekyo or not. And that's going to be interesting to see. Not to mention Arya with his new sword or jutsu or whatever he's got. And then add in Yodo and then getting the Soul Thorn. It's going to be a good fight. And I'm kind of wondering, well, I'm kind of hoping that their teamwork is going to show them that if they work in groups or work together, they don't need to rely on Boruto to kind of swoop in and handle it. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll use that failure as a way to train or to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? All together with Kashin Koji, who sees that, like, this is how they can use their full potential. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's interesting to see. But yeah, Mitsuki and Sarada are on a team together, so they'd be a lot better at working together than the other two. But I imagine it's all gonna come together quite well. Do I think the teamwork is going to help them beat Ryu? I think it's a pretty fair shot. I think they have a chance, especially now that the Iron Sand isn't really a issue for them. You know what I mean? If they didn't have anything to combat it or fight against it like Arya has, then it would be a little bit more like it's a tough fight to like overcome it. But now that they have like a solid, like, this is something that we can deal with, I think that's cool. And even if they do win, right? Like, let's say they beat the Shinju and then they run away. They still have to go free Gaara, and then they have to still defeat Ryu at another time, you know what I mean? Or like, I don't know where he got bitten at. It's probably at the same location. But then they have to stab the Soul Thorn, and then he comes back, and then it becomes a whole mess now. So it's really interesting to see. And I do think that teamwork could really help them in the long run, but it's all dependent on, what happens next. How can they move forward? How can they really work as a team? And yeah, I think it's interesting. I give them like a 60% chance of success. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good odds. But yeah, and also you have to think, what if one of the other Shinju show up? You know what I'm saying? Just because it's those two now doesn't mean that Bug or Jura or Hidari might not come back. You know what I mean? Especially because Sarada's there. So who knows? You never know. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah.